Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to another installment of Demystify the Divine, weekly readings and tools to connect. And this week we are doing our wisdom teaching, and the subject matter that we're going to talk about is sun energy versus moon energy and how you can make them both work for you. And with a lot of these wisdom teaching episodes, as you know, I've been tapping into information that came through in videos that were created in my membership, Ignite Your Wings, Wisdom for Transformation. And this one was recorded in December of 2022. And the information that came through was really quite powerful. So I really hope that you enjoy the information and that there's a lot that you can, I want to say really a lot of information that you can glean and that you can apply right away, because these are things that we often take for granted. But the sun rises every day and it sets, and the moon rises every night, and then it sets and the sun rises every day. It is the ebb and flow. It is the death and rebirth cycle, right? The life, death, and rebirth cycle. And that's what it's all about for us. So stay tuned. Watch that, and then I'll catch you on the flip side. Hello, fabulous Phoenixes. Welcome to Wisdom Teachings for December. Really excited to be connecting with you this month. And this month we're going to be talking a little bit about sun energy versus moon energy. And this is something that comes up a lot in my readings. I do new moon musings. You know, we get the full moon focus in our portal here for our Ignite Your Wings, Wisdom for Transformation. And I'm really connected to moon energy. And you also know that I'm a sun bunny and I love the sun as well. Well, why are we drawn to the sun or the moon or a little bit of both? Obviously, we can look at it from a human perspective that both play their part and they both provide a particular level of light for the functionality of, you know, the day-to-day stuff. And, you know, day turns into night, turns into day. All of that is, you know, pretty obvious. But when we go into the spiritual aspect of things and the connection of the energy around all of that, there's deeper meaning. So when we're talking about the sun is life-giving, right? It's photosynthesis. It gives the plants the energy that it needs. It's a transformer. It's fire. Sun is actually a star, right? And it has all of these flares and bursts, and it provides heat to the planet. And it's very, I want to say, bold and brash and in your face. Sun energy is all about when you shine the light of the sun, it's no holds barred, truth bared, right? Especially when you've got full sunlight on something. It casts the shadow sort of behind the scenes, but if you're in high noon, there's no shadow at all. You can see everything. So sun energy really connects us to our truth, the core truth. Sun energy really helps to highlight those areas of ourselves that we're trying to delude ourselves into, that we're trying to bury our proverbial heads in the sand about. Sun energy also fuels us living our truth, not only finding it and speaking it, but living our truth and living it in an authentic way. And it also gives us the opportunity to have truth revealed around all of those that we interact with and connect with. Sun energy also gives us the opportunity to see the beauty that is in our now and in our present moment. Sun helps to keep us present and focused. So sun energy is really important. It's transformative, it's revealing, and you can't hide from it. If you think about a really super hot sunny day and there's no shade in sight, that's not good. You know, if we have exposure, we can actually be damaged by, you know, a lot of sun exposure and things like that. So everything in balance, everything in moderation, understanding that, yes, I want to live authentically. I want to live in the light of truth. And I also need some time to process and digest what that truth is. I don't always need to be in the light or having that light bearing down on me, shining down on me at all times. I can take from it what I need and store it up so that I have access to that energy at any given time. Moon energy. Moon is, and I also want to say sun. Sun is divine masculine. It's very active, right? It's an active energy. When you want to put something into action, you need fuel. Sun is fuel. We think about vitamin D. You need that vitamin D in order to be able to have enough energy to get up and go and do what you want to do. If you don't have enough sunlight, if you don't have enough vitamin D, it can trigger depression. It can trigger lethargy and fatigue, right? So sun is also a fueling energy, and it's very divine masculine, action oriented. Moon energy, intuition. It's a softer light. It provides light. It definitely provides light, but it provides a softer light and a softer energy. I often say that moonlight is not everything is as it seems. And I'm going to, sort of give my age away here a little bit, talking about the Scooby-Doo cartoons that I used to watch as a kid. It was classic all the time that they'd be out and about doing stuff, and there'd be this big scary shadow of a ghost. And when they actually got into the building or wherever it wasn't a ghost at all. It was a rag, being blown by the breeze, and it's on top of a rake. But when you're looking at it from the light of the moon, it casts a different light. It casts different shadows. Things have a way of being illusory. And so moon energy is really important because it allows us to go within. I talked about the sun. Sometimes we need to be able to process that information and process what we're receiving around all of that truth and all of that sunlight. Well, the moon gives us the opportunity to slow down. When you're in moonlight, you're not walking as quickly and as confident about what you're seeing and feeling around you. You have to stop and really take a look. You might have to watch where your feet are. You might have to, take a slower stance or a slower gait to get where you're going, because you need to be really paying attention and looking around you. The moonlight also, that light energy gives us the invitation to really connect deeply with the intuition. So if you think about blindfolding yourself and walking around a space that is let's say your bedroom. Everybody knows their bedroom really well. You get into a routine of things. Well, imagine what it would be like if you blindfolded yourself. There's a certain level of understanding, your routine and sort of where everything is. But there's a lot of intuition that would go into that as well, that I don't think on a regular basis about my routine, but now I have to, because there's a blindfold on. So now I have to sort of, okay, where do I think the bedside table is? I'm pretty sure it's in this direction. So I'm going to it's about connecting that to that intuitive side of ourselves, where not everything is laid bare, but we are still receiving information. We are still receiving it, and receiving it in a gentler, more approachable way. Moonlight energy also connects us to our feelings and emotions, right? Moon represents and is in charge of the waves and the water and the oceans and the tides. And we are made up of mostly water. So I think it's 85% of water. I mean, there's different percentages all the time, but mostly water, right? So if we are all made up of mostly water, it stands to reason that if the oceans listen to the moon's pull, and respond to the moon's pull, we're going to do the same. So moonlight also is very important because it connects us to the divine feminine, where we are able to receive information. We're able to receive guidance and intuition. And it doesn't have to be so action oriented. It's more of an observance, receiving, observing, processing what it is that we're receiving, and then eventually handing it to, the divine masculine to actually put into practice. Moonlight energy is really important for creating plans. It's not about enacting the plan, it's about creating the plan. The divine masculine and the divine feminine are very symbiotic in the way that they work. The sun is the sun. It has its own energy, its own individuality, its own identity, and its own purposes, as does the moon. But together, they become the full potential of both. One cannot truly exist without the other. They both thrive on each other's strengths, right? And so we need the moon in that way as well in our life, because sometimes the sun is a little intense and we need time to process. Well, that's when the moon comes in. And now we've had time to process and we have created a plan. We can't wait to see this beautiful inspiration that we've received come to life and bring life and bring creativity and abundance to the planet, to the people on the planet, just coming into fruition in our lives. Well, in order for that to happen, the moon now passes that digested information, that processed information, out into the sunlight. And now it can become something else. It can transform into something else. So again, sunlight is transformative. Moonlight is intuitive, helps us to process. So I hope this little bit of information has helped you out. I really feel like, I pull a lot of cards and I talk a lot about this energy, but how often do we actually really stop to sort of sit into the sun and the moon from that perspective? And yet it's energy that infiltrates our lives and impacts our lives every second of every day. So give yourself some time, give yourself a minute to kind of go within and see maybe where you lean into more. What do you like more or less? Or maybe this information has given you an opportunity to kind of say, I hadn't thought about that before, and how can I utilize that energy a little bit more in my life or in my meditative practice or in my manifesting practice, so that I can really take advantage of all of the resources that are at my fingertips as I'm transforming into the version of myself that is for my highest and best and living my best life. So that is our video for the sun energy versus the moon energy. And I hope that was super helpful for you guys. And now go out and apply that wisdom and that guidance throughout this month, and just notice what you enjoy more of, what you find is more natural to lean into, and maybe what is something that you have to be more intentional about doing. And maybe play around with that. If the sun energy is easy for you to connect with, maybe make a personal intention to live in the moon energy for a week and see how that shifts your flow, see how that enhances your energy and enhances the choices in your life. It's all here for us, so we might as well take advantage. As always, if you like what you see here, feel free to like, subscribe, and click the bell on my YouTube channel. If there's anything that I can do for you at all, feel free to click on the link below to book a session with me. I would love to be of service. Have the most amazing week, guys. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Transform well.